the Speedway Aviation Repair Depot for military aircraft. With the war's end, racing returned to the Speedway. The Speedway was sold to former 500 driver and War 1A's Captain Eddie Crichton.
Soon, a new generation of cars would become a favorite of drivers, crews, and fans alike. In 1950,
That's similar to what
introduced the low
that guy made on that car show.
becoming a staple of Indianapolis racing. Ford and Ford V8 engine. Also, the rival.
Look at the laptop.
Let's get your ass in there.
Led the two redefined in 2008, creating the IndyCar series after 12 years of separation.
Nice, isn't it?
That's the toolbox dad one.
Really quiet, and it's 4:30 a.m. So you can hear the moon on everything, the moon is up. I always take a picture of the go in the moon and stillness of the 4:30.
It's dark, yeah, it's quiet, and you can sit there and you actually watch the sunrise and the traffic just opens up.
You know, once the crowds start pouring in, I mean, it's unreal.
It's the largest event in the world. Everyone knows about the race here. It's a big, huge family environment.
It's Memorial Day weekend. We're in Indianapolis, and that means just one thing. It is time for the Indy 500.
Realizing the history of this place and what it means to win Indianapolis, and it is the Super Bowl for us, and what it means to the city, what it means to the country, to the world, basically.
The Indy 500 is the race of all races around the world. It has the most tradition, it means the most to the drivers. When you're one of the 33 out there running on the race day, you're at your best. Your whole team is at your best.
Hey race fans, let's get ready to meet your Indy 500 drivers. Moto entry. It's the Spider-Man, Elio Castroneves. From New Zealand, it's the S-Man, Scott
patriotism you see before those races. If you don't stand up for those opening ceremonies and have goosebumps, it's one of the most wonderful things.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, or the land of the free?
With their new all-American marching band to perform Back Home Again in Indiana. Back home again in Indiana. When I dream about the moonlight on the waters, then I long for my Indiana.
Got 10 minutes to go. That's the move.
Yeah.
That's the move. Honestly, like, that town was amazing. This is the thing about.
Yeah.
at all these rings.
On our way to kiss some bricks. Okay. Get our big juicy lips on them bricks. On the empty bus.
We're going to introduce ourselves on the last tour. This is our first tour in 2 weeks. The museum has been closed for renovation, just opened last week, and this is the first day we've had tours in 2 weeks. So we're kind of out of practice, so bear with us. We're going to take you on the Kiss the Brick tour. We're going to do one lap on the racetrack itself, and then we'll stop out the Yard of Bricks, and you can get off and take pictures and kiss the bricks. That's a tradition, and you're going to hear a tape as we go around the track, and he's going to talk about that tradition, so I won't get into that. And we'll stop out there, and you can get off and take pictures and kiss the bricks. So just sit back and enjoy the ride right now, and I'll talk to you when we get there. Okay. You know, the gate seems real slow these days. Maybe it's just because we want Romans.
We enter the track between turns 1 and 2 onto one of our short chutes. These 2 short straightaways are located at the north and south ends of the speedway and are each 1/8 of a mile in length. Contrary to its oval designation, the speedway is rectangular with 4 turns, each 1/4 of a mile in length from entrance to exit. The 2 main straightaways are 5/8 of a mile and located on the speedway's east and west sides. This all adds up to 2.5 miles total track time. You're likely to start feeling the effects of our banking as we enter turn 2. Each turn is banked 9 degrees in 12 minutes. Despite the shallow banking, Indy cars will carry speeds over 230 miles an hour through our turns. On the left, you will see some of our viewing mounts. These are throughout the track's infield and are used by general admission ticket holders. Up on your right are the Turn 2 suites installed in 1973. These suites offer VIP guests and sponsors a thrilling close-up vantage. We are now approaching the backstretch. Except for the track's current asphalt surface, the speedway's dimensions and layout are the same as in 1909. And if you're curious about what happened to all those bricks, most are just a few feet beneath us, buried under layers of asphalt. If you look out both sides from us, you will also notice a golf course here. Indiana Crossing Golf Course has seen many different iterations, culminating in the 1992 redesign by legendary golf course designer Pete Dye. The current layout has 4 holes inside the track and 14 outside the backstretch to your right. If Indy cars were on the backstretch with us right now, you would see them screaming by at over 243 miles per hour, or just over 390 kilometers per hour. At that speed, the Indy cars would cover the length of a football field in less than 9/10 of a second. These high speeds, coupled with the aerodynamics of the Indy cars, allow them to lap this 2.5-mile track in less than 39 seconds, with modern average lap speeds peaking at over 235 miles per hour. In its over a century of existence, the Speedway has hosted various racing events. The first ever race held here was a gas-filled balloon race before the track was even finished. Since then, Formula One, NASCAR, MotoGP motorcycles, and IMSA sports cars have all held events here. In 1910, the track was used for Indiana's first ever air show, with the Wright brothers setting a new world altitude record of 4,384 feet. In 2016, the Red Bull Air Race competed at the Speedway, flying between inflatable pylons set up in the infield. The newest major addition to our facility is on your left, a quarter-mile dirt track. It was built for USAC's BC39 midget car race, named in honor of late IndyCar driver and USAC champion Brian Clausen. It is now a premier USAC event, with over 100 entrants in its inaugural year. As we travel through turn 3, you will notice the SAFER barrier along the walls on either side of the track. SAFER stands for Steel and Foam Energy Reduction. In a joint program with IMS and researchers at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, the new barriers were installed in 2002. The SAFER barrier has been responsible for saving many drivers from severe injuries and is now found at many major racing facilities worldwide. Formula One flying ace and Medal of Honor winner Eddie Rickenbacker purchased the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 1927. He had a personal connection with the track, as he had competed here as a racing driver before he went overseas. His skillful management guided the track throughout the Great Depression with no halt in racing. If you look out the left side of the bus, portions of the Speedway's road course will come into sight. Though original racetrack renderings for the Speedway included an interior road course, it would take until the turn of the 21st century for it to be finally installed. The road course was initially constructed for Formula One racing and now measures 2.439 miles in length with 14 turns. No events were held at the Speedway from 1917 to 1918 and 1942 to 1945 due to the First and Second World Wars. As opposed to World War I, where the track was used as an aviation repair and refueling depot, the track was closed entirely during World War II, and by 1945, the dilapidated facility was slated to be sold to make way for a housing development. That was until, at the urging of 3-time Indy 500 winner Wilbur Shaw, Indiana businessman Tony Holman stepped in at the last minute and purchased the track for $750,000. Under Holman George's leadership, the Speedway prospered and became the worldwide icon known today. In January 2020, Indy 500 winning team owner and entrepreneur Roger Penske purchased the Speedway in NTT IndyCar Series. We are now approaching the front straight. On race day, this is the view the IndyCar drivers will have as they come down to the green flag at the start of the race. The Indianapolis 500 begins with what is known as a rolling start, with all 33 cars accelerating in their traditional 11 rows of 3 cars each toward the start-finish line. By the time they cross the famed Yard of Bricks, the field will already be well over 200 miles per hour, making the start of the Indianapolis 500 amongst the fastest in the world. You will notice a wall separating the racing surface from the pit lane. Originally, this was constructed in 1957 and may have been the first of its kind anywhere in the world. It offers a safe place for cars to receive service while separated from the high-speed action on track. In the early days of the 500, pit stops could last several minutes, often with the relief driver taking over for the exhausted original. Today, IndyCar crews can change 4 tires and fuel a car in less than 8 seconds. On the left is Victory Podium, and adjacent to it is the Pagoda. This iconic structure has 10 floors and is equivalent in height to a 13-story building. It is the home of timing and scoring, master control, media broadcast, and private suites. There has been a building like this at this location since 1913. Running underneath the pagoda and onto the racing surface is a link to the past, the Yard of Bricks. Every brick you see dates to the original surface in 1909. The front straight was still predominantly brick until October of 1961, when they were paved over, with the exception
USS Indianapolis, it was a cruiser in World War II, so that's why, if you think it looks kind of funny, that's why it does. I don't remember what the crow's nest is, it's part of a ship, I guess. If you want that in the background and you want the pagoda in the background, however you want to do.
Yeah, we'll do one there. And
okay,
one there.
Yeah. Hey, we got a beautiful day. It's the sunshine. There we go. Okay, guys, you ready? I take 2 and
Okay.
That one's kind of far away because I got the whole pagoda in there, but if you want a close up or anything. Any questions? We're actually in the pits right now. The shell assignment. What they do, these guys build these little race cars, and they just put so much fuel in them, and they go as far as they can. They try to get the most fuel mileage, and that's why Shell's involved, and I suspect that's what's going to happen. So we're getting the track ready for that. But this is Victory Podium. This is where the winner celebrates. You'll see a ramp-like thing down there. You see those things coming out the bottom of it.
Yeah.
The winner's car is actually brought onto that, and then they will raise that up, and they'll lower those silver bars up on the top.
Yeah.
And they bring the car across there, and that's how they celebrate. So if you've ever seen the race on TV,
well, we're watching it this year in May.
Yeah, we've got tickets to come, so we're gonna.
We've got tickets to come.
Yeah.
What do you do? Good
I've
for you.
come see NASCAR twice a year, but never the Indy 500. So.
Well, I think you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
This place, we've got 253,000 empty seats right now.
Yeah.
And we can easily put 100,000 people. You've seen how big the infield is at the track.
Yeah.
So 350,000 people will be here. So
it's going to be an event.
It is. It's the world's largest one-day sporting event. So.
My dad's been every year since he moved here. So like gosh, 20 odd years, and he absolutely loves it. Comes every year. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, hope we have good weather for it.
They said it was a washout last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did, but then they ran the race. They started the race in the afternoon, and they got it all in.
Right.
So is it 500 laps or 500 miles?
No, they do 500 miles. The track is 2.5 miles around.
Yeah.
So they'll do 200 laps. 200 times 2.5 is 500. So they'll make 200 laps around here.
Yeah.
Right.
And they'll come in here probably 6 to 8 times during the race for fuel and new tires.
Yeah.
And they can put 18.5 gallons of fuel and 4 new tires on in less than 8 seconds time.
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that amazing?
It's crazy what they could do.
Yeah.
Do you want to kiss the bricks? I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
Believe me, they got one stop with halfway.
I've got it on that anyway.
Have you got it on there?
There you go. How about that?
What's this?
when you got a picture in the car?
How are you doing today?
Good, thank
Not too
you.
bad.
Good. Yes, we have a little photo station here. If you want to sit in the car, you can, the slides apart, you can climb in, and then we can take some photos.
Yeah.
And they're $5 a piece for a 4x6 printout.
Alright, we'll do that.
The feeling never goes away. Performing on a stage in front of 300,000+ people. This is the greatest spectacle in racing. Indianapolis 500 is on. Oh, we got a problem. We've got 2 cars around.
Huh? Let's go.
That's my car, but it's all recorded.
Look.
Did you see these little screens stop bugs getting?
Yeah.
That era.
Hmm? Pink.
Home Depot's being cheap.
Yeah. Hmm?
Sounding. It's like the sound of trumpets.
We did. No, we didn't. Okay, well, let's do another one. Maybe you didn't get in this one.
Tour is over. Catch you on the next one.